Hey y'all, back with the next one from the range day. Just want to show you what I've done. Okay, so I don't know how well this is going to show up, but I've got two numbers. I've got 23 and I got a 58. Right here I put 4 pasties. And so I found out I discovered I was shooting too high. I was literally going over the head. So I started at a 25 yard, and then about the 25 yard would be one of these strings up here. So then I went back to 50, and then up from there I started making my increments to where once I had 3 rounds in the orange pasters that I put here, I was good. I felt good with that. So then I went back to the 100. On the 100, I had to aim low. So my chevron, I used the primary arms. Zero magnify. Oh Lord, I forgot the name of it, but it's no magnification, which I'm gonna get to in a minute. So I held about right here, and I landed a few in here. Now, I am not. A lot of stuff I see is a lot of what I call Hollywood mess. Okay, I am a practical shooter, and I believe that a practical shooter is the way it should be. Anything else is a specialty, and the specialty is a special type of shooting. For me, when I shoot, I grade myself on, am I applying my basic techniques and sinking my rounds where I want them to be, and where I want my rounds to always be is here in this A box. Anything outside the A box is a failure in anything I do. So if I do a moving drill and I throw a round out here, that's a failure. If I do I forgot the name of it, but you have so many targets and you're shooting and moving. Anything outside the A box is a failure. So the day consisted of up drills and some moving drills, but it was more addressed towards the magazines shooting out of the NATO AUG stock that I have. So then after that, I went to pistol. Pistol, I did the same thing as rifle. I did some left to right, right to left moving drills. I did some just in my head, beat, draw the gun and fire. I don't have a timer or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't have one. But shooting is an art, and if you don't use it, you lose it. And it goes right back to what I said in my very first video, the intro of the day. There's no range for me to shoot at. I can't just say I'll be 20 minutes down the road and enjoy an hour of shooting. No. And you'll need even an hour. If you had 30 minutes to give a week and you can practice on the fundamentals, you'll see your accuracy just shoot up through the roof. But when I do shooting, it has to be an event. Like, I've got to put it on the calendar. I got this time to do it. One, because I'm a businessman. I got to make money so I can buy another box of bullets. So when I go, I try to go to where I'm there for hours. 3 hours is where I like to be. And when I go, I'm not doing the John Wick stuff, and I'm not doing the and I'm not knocking anybody now. I'm not doing the T-Rex arms. One, I don't have his facility. I'm not doing Grand Thumb. One, I don't have his facility. I don't have any of that. I have no land to shoot on, so a beggar can't be a chooser. And when I go out to when I go out to this gentleman's range, I try to remember that, because the guy really, he tried to do something excellent, and the powers that be in the county said no, and they forced him to tear down his own range on his own property. It's the way it is. I'm a practical shooter. When it comes to handguns, I'm not going out to 75 yards. I'm 15, 20, 25 yards, and that's it. If you go and look at the statistics, majority of your shootings are going to be 0 to 50 feet. It is, and so your nightmare scenario is really in your face. But I like to be a practical shooter. I don't look for bullet on bullet on bullet. I want to keep my targets here in this area of the target, in that A zone. And if I can do that, then I am acceptable to me. That what I've done. So if you go out with 30 rounds and you shot 30 rounds and you put 30 rounds all where you wanted them to be in the designated area, and they're not drifted outside that area, you just won the day. You got the steak dinner. The thing about handguns is they're the hardest guns. They're the hardest things to use. They're the hardest weapons to hit a target with. That's why people use rifles. My problem is that I can no longer use iron sights. And because I can't use iron sights, I go to optics. Now I'm seeing a lot of this stuff now talking about, well, you shouldn't put lights on a gun, and you should use iron sights only, and all that's bunk, all that's hokum. You do you figure out what works for you. My gun has a light. My gun has a red dot. I'm not a fanboy of the latest fashion for guns. I know what works for me. Like, for example, I can't use red dots. The only optic I can use is the ACSS Vulcan with the chevron. That's it, because it's not a dot. It's a chevron. It's got a point. It's got two lines. I can see that. And it's as clear and as crisp as I can get my eyes to see it with. The negative is I don't think it's as friendly as just a dot. See the dot, put the dot on the target. I don't. But I can't use dots because I'm seeing streaking and Halley's Comets and oval shape, Mickey Mouse and all kinds of weird stuff. So, which brings me back to one of the things that I learned when I went out to the range, and it's factors of two things. One, I'm having to get used to a new world, which is, still using glasses and something I'm really still not used to. And two, that the optic is great that I use, no problem with it. Maybe I need to bump up the magnification to about a 2x. Like a fixed 2 power optic probably would suit me better. Now granted, at 100 yards, there was only 4 of these pasties, and I could see them, but I could not see them as I should when I was trying to get this thing zeroed. Perhaps the best thing I should have done was make a square, a larger square, and paint it orange or whatever, and then see where I'm at, and then start walking it from the 100 yard, because I really wanted to zero it dead at 100. But once I was at the 25 and I started seeing, I backed it up to the 50. Once I got at the 50, then I went to the 100. And if you shoot 25, I have found you got to aim low. You shoot just like if your zero is here, then I would aim low. You know, and then when you get past the 100, that's when you go up, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I'm pleased with this. Not so much with this. I know where these came from. That came from movement, because I was 1-2 shots, 1-2 shots, 1-2 shots, because there was 3 targets up there, and the other 2 targets, I knew there was free space on those targets that were not completely shot, so I used those free spaces. So it would be 1 target 2 times, 1 target second time. Start moving my hips, open your hips up so you can get to the last one. 2 targets, and then 2 shots, and then it'll be 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots, going back and forth. So I know why these are there. Then that's another thing too. Don't just shoot to shoot. Shoot to learn why your bullet is here, or 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 here. And I know why. One is my sideline movement. I'm pulling I'm shooting my shots here when I should be hitting them here, meaning the way I'm walking and shooting. You know, it's a timing thing. That's how I put it. But all my other drills went fine. I had no problem. When it comes to pistol, I keep it simple, stupid. In life, if you keep it simple, stupid, you'll have a better understanding of what's in front of you and what you're doing with the gun. Basics. It's always the basics. Never think it's not. Everything's the basics. Always the basics. So when people say don't put a light on a gun, that's their opinion, not yours. If you want to do it, go ahead. When others say don't put a red dot on a gun, that red dot's cheating, I still cannot understand why people say that putting a red dot on a handgun is cheating, but it's okay to put it on a rifle. And the crazy thing is, putting a red dot on a handgun means you'll actually carry a red dot and learn more about the red dot and how, in my opinion, a more beneficial sighting system it is than using iron sights. The problem with iron sights is you're having to train your brain to do something it doesn't understand. So if this is the target, your eye has to line up a rear sight, a front sight to this target. So the old acronym was clear sights, fuzzy target. That is not the way the human brain looks at things. That's not the way the human brain acts. The human brain is a front focused targeting system. If you look at every weapon made by man, the very first weapon, besides, a stone knife and that kind of thing, I'm not talking about handheld, was the atlatl, a front-focused weapon. The longbow is a front-focused weapon. The crossbow is a front-focused weapon. Spears, pikes, halberdiers, they're front-focused weapons. The brain processes front focus. If you get in a fight with somebody, you're front focused on them. Your eyes will lock on to that target, and that's where it stays. That's why they used to teach, and I agree with it, but I don't agree how we're doing it. Which is, they used to teach, I guess they still do. You fire your sequence of shots, and then you break contact from the target, and you go left and right, because they're trying to get your brain, not to be front focused on that. So it doesn't add up to me. If the brain naturally understands something more than you trying to program the brain to understand what it's doing, how can that be cheating? It's a natural thing. That's my opinion. Everyone's mileage vary. I'll give you a point. Lights on rifles. They're not needed. They're really not. You don't need a light on a rifle. You need a light on a rifle at night. It's just like if you look at my videos, there was no light on my rifle. Why? Because I was out during the day. That doesn't mean I didn't have a light. That meant I didn't put the light on the rifle because when the environment that I was in, you don't need the blasted thing. Pressure switches, and all the things that go along with that, those hot switches and stuff, they're not needed, and they're actually an obstacle. They get in the way of things. What you need is keep simple, stupid, simplicity. Button to push, button to push again. Button to push, it went on. Button to push, it went off. And like with me, do I have a light on my handgun? Yeah, I do. But I don't have it on my rifle. Why? Because I carry my handgun more than I carry my rifle. So the environments with my handgun goes through more lighting situations and more lighting negatives and positives than my rifle does. So I don't put a light on my rifle. I don't need it on there. I need it on my handgun. I also have a secondary light source, which is another light that I keep in my hand. Why? Because I don't be pulling out my gun, trying to turn on a light and find my keys I just dropped. Okay? Don't do that. It's called armed to the terror of public. It scares people. Don't do it. Not good. So, when you need a light, you mount the light. When you don't need the light, then you store it away. The positive to that is you're caring for the equipment that goes with the weapon. For example, night vision. Not naturally, if you got NVGs, you're not going to be doing that. We now have dual beam auto laser D-balls. We now have these laser aiming devices with a built-in light. But those built-in lights have covers. They're protecting the light. They're protecting the lenses. When a handgun has a light and it's in the holster, it's protecting the light. But as a naked light, which I see a lot of, I see a lot of naked lights on ARs, they're not protected unless you got the covers on them. And the only people I see a lot of doing that are those people that are, one, they're wired, meaning they've done enough, either class work or practical work, to know to cover that for two reasons. One, protecting the light. Second is you don't want the sun glinting off that glass and telling everyone I'm here, So you don't want to do that, because that turns out to be a bad day. So, no, I don't put a light on rifles. Now, if it's getting dark, put the light on. Then test the light, turn it off. It's that simple. These are just, you do you. You do it the way you want to, and you figure it out. And don't listen to what people say. Don't listen to me. Okay? Don't. I'm just feeding you my information that I believe is right for me, my opinion. And a lot of people get really hurt over this thing called an opinion. For God's sakes, it's an opinion. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you do like it, that's fine. And that's in anything. Okay? I don't like communism. I don't like socialism. I don't like fascism. I don't like homosexuality. I don't like lesbians. I don't like perversion. I think porn in the United States should be absolutely, completely abolished. Cannot be watched, cannot be seen. I think it's a detriment to society, and it degrades man and it degrades woman. That's my opinion. You do you. I don't want a fully automatic weapon today. I may tomorrow. If you want one, you do you. That's fine. I'm an American. That's what I believe. That is what true Americans are supposed to think, in my opinion. Once again, my opinion. I don't believe in Big Brother. I think that 90% of the federal government should be disbanded. I don't believe we should have a United States Army. I think that the United States Army should be disbanded. I think that the Army National Guard is a lie. It's a standing army within a sovereign border, and it's illegal. That's my opinion. Your mileage may vary. If you don't believe that, fine. I know a lot of National Guardsmen who's suffered and gone overseas. God bless you. I just don't believe in the organization because they're not a militia. The United States Army National Guard is not a militia. I just don't understand how people can say they are. They even celebrate themselves as a militia, but they're not. Anyways, I don't believe in the IRS. I don't believe in Planned Parenthood. I don't believe in any hood. I don't believe in nothing but I'm an American. You're an American. Black, white, yellow, red, Star Wars, green. I don't care. I don't care about your religion either. I care about my religion. I am Christian. But if you want to worship Allah, okay. God be with you. I will not bother you. That's the whole premise about what we're supposed to be. I want to be a man responsible for me. You should be a person responsible for you. You get what I'm saying? Opinions. But back to this. This is what I consider a passing grade. Okay? And if you look, many agencies and many militaries consider that a passing grade. This bullet through a bullet through a bullet through a bullet thing, that's not passing grade. That's a specialty training. That's a specialist doing a special duty, which is he's trained to put a bullet, now put the bullet through it again, put the bullet through it again. But your average grunt who don't ever go out to the range and shoot, they don't train them that way. My opinion. Okay? I hope to hear your opinions on these things. But had a great time. I will be going back. This thing's gotten, this thing's 20 minutes long. God help you if you go through all this. If I had a t-shirt, I'd send it to you. But anyways, I do appreciate you looking at my videos, and I will have some more coming up. Back directly.